You're listening to the Two Tongues Podcast. And now your hosts, Kyle and Chris.
Yes, y'all.
Buongiorno.
We in the house.
Guten Tag.
Guten Morgen. Well, it's not morning. What is it? What time is it? It's evening. Guten Abend.
That sounds dirty. Hey,
That
Kyle,
does sound a little dirty.
since you're bringing up German, this just immediately pops in my head. I have a couple of old books. I like old books.
Yeah, you're an old book guy.
I'm an old book guy.
Many leather-bound books.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany. One time I found these books at like a flea market, and they were from the 1800s, and they were old, and they were pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they're in German.
Yeah.
So I couldn't read them because I'm American, and that means I speak American.
Yeah.
So anyway, I couldn't read them, and they're sitting right over here. And now that you know German, I wonder if you could read it.
I mean, I could probably pick up some stuff out of it. I never got like super good at German.
Yeah.
I think if you dropped me off in Germany, I would be like, okay, I mean, a lot of them speak English, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I could try to speak German and I wouldn't be completely lost.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have like a deep philosophical conversation. I would be completely lost.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that I could pick out some stuff out of it.
If somebody gave you directions to the bus stop,
Yeah.
could you understand the directions?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, German and English are pretty similar. I mean, right is rechts and left is links. So, I mean, you know that, over there is da drüben.
Oh yeah, the Druben.
Yeah.
That sounds like English. I'm gonna grab one of these books. I just wanted you to see it. You may not be able to read it because it's like in a weird cursive.
Oh, okay.
So, but let me just show it to you.
All right. We're going to do a little reading in German. I do think one thing that I picked up from doing German is like a lot of people, if they picked this up, I can't like tell you what it means necessarily, but I do think that I can like pronounce it better than most people,
I mean, tell me if it looks like traditional
weird
German. Yeah,
It's
it is
very
weird
looking text. Direct Gläubig. The text is very hard to read.
Yeah, interesting.
Hat von Umfang an Mandin. I can't tell what that word is because of the lettering.
Yeah.
Und mittigen Kampf. I know that word. Gegen allerlei Unlutherfisch. Lehren. That's learn. That's like teaching, I think.
Okay.
Führen Müfen. Überfein Kampf again. Früher Biden. Man, I don't know why. I don't know if I can show the people.
Yeah, you probably
this.
Can.
I don't know why they would use this text. Like, could people back in the day just read that better? I can't.
Yeah. It's hard to see, but yeah. But this is cool. And this book, I think, is some kind of a seminary book. And it's number 29 of a set. But even you just feel like the cover of this book and the
Let me see
pages.
Let me see it again.
They don't make books like that anymore.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, it's
book.
It's not in great condition, you can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in decent condition, but it's like kind of discolored a little bit.
Yep.
But it's like still, it's in good enough condition for it to be interesting. Lehre und I don't know what this letter is. It looks like maybe a W. I don't know.
Yep.
Ideologies and Wirklichkeit. I can't read it.
Yeah, let me take a look.
Ronsblatt.
Yeah, it's a weird font, man. It is a weird font. You're right.
That is a very weird stylistic choice.
Like the capital letter that looks like Kyle said, maybe a W. When I look at it, it looks like Sanskrit.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the Om symbol.
And all of the text is like that. It's not just the title, the titles or anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Irritating.
There it is, Kyle. All right. So that was less impressive than I was expecting. I'll tell you why. Because it sounded like an American guy, not a German guy.
Yeah. I definitely haven't mastered the accent.
Yeah.
I I don't know how I feel about that, you know? Like
About not having the accent?
No. I'm talking about like if a person moves from America to, let's say, Italy, okay, and they learn to speak English, that's awesome. I think that if you move somewhere, you should learn to speak the language.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're kind of a fucking dickhead.
Yeah. If you don't at least try.
Yeah. No, I think if you don't, you know, if you don't pick up fucking some of it, man, you're a dickhead. But anyways, not to get off on, because we're gonna get there. But what was I saying? I forgot. I threw myself off.
I was sucked into the moment. I was listening to your story like I was watching a film. I was sucked right into it, man.
Yeah, I was sucked into it too, so much that I forgot what I was talking about. Oh well,
this podcast is off to a bad start.
Yeah,
Kyle.
it is.
God damn it,
we're off the rails already.
Okay, so you said you've been paying a little bit more attention to the news lately, and I'm curious, is there a reason for that?
No,
something in the news, or just by happenstance?
I wouldn't say that I've been paying more attention to it. That's not what I said. I've been paying a little bit of attention to it, because for a while I was like wanting to not really pay attention to it at all.
Yeah. That happened right around the time Massey and Trump started arguing.
I mean,
or before that,
when Trump took office, you know, all the executive orders and shit were pretty cool. I'm not sure like what they mean long term, if they mean anything long term,
right?
So it's hard to really stay excited about that. But I mean, I'm not trying to be like somebody who's bitching all the time, because you have to give people time. It's a complicated business, politics, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But I definitely have complaints, you know, like I'm not 100% happy about everything, but I don't expect to be 100% happy about everything.
Yeah.
But the stuff that I'm not happy about is stuff that I think is kind of important, you know?
Yep.
So, you know, I just don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm happy to let Trump have more time, because like I said, first of all, what was the other option? I mean, it was him or Kamala Harris. And I feel like we made the right decision.
There was no other option. Yeah.
So, you know, what the fuck else are you going to do? But also, like, he's doing good stuff. He is doing good stuff. I'm not like trying to like shit on everything.
Yeah.
I'm just like there are definitely some things that I wish were going differently.
Yeah.
You know,
specifically.
Well, I mean, the big thing in the news right now would be the Epstein stuff. It's fucked up.
What about the amnesty? Before we get to Epstein, what about the amnesty stuff?
I hate that more.
Way more. I heard a clip from Tucker talking about that, and it was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
It was basically, you know, asking him what he thought about the idea of Trump entertaining some kind of a mass amnesty or whatever. And he was like, his answer was like, no, people voted for the opposite of that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly right. So I don't know how serious that is. I did hear it, but I didn't hear it from him. So I don't know how serious that is if Trump or the the administration is considering any kind of amnesty for the illegals that have come over the past, whatever it's been 4+ years. Do you know like where do these rumors come from? I didn't hear it from him, and he tweets pretty much everything.
Generally, well, he said that he was thinking about an amnesty thing.
He did.
Yeah.
Jesus
for agriculture
Christ.
And for hospitality workers. No, that came directly from his mouth.
No.
Yeah. But I mean, he said later that they're not doing it, but that doesn't mean anything either.
Yeah.
You know, like in a week we could be back to doing it. And that's what that's like one of the things I don't love about Trump. Like, I don't understand why he's like waffling on this. You know, it's like, it's obvious what we need to do, but I say that, but I'm also, I guess I'm not in his position, but I don't know, man. It seems pretty obvious to me that giving that many people amnesty would be bad for this country.
It would undermine.
Not a fan of the idea.
It would undermine one of the most significant reasons for him running in the first place, or for us voting for him in the first place this time around.
That's like the main reason. I mean, the first time it was build the wall, it was secure the border. This time it's been more about we're shipping them out.
Yeah,
we're locking down the border and then we're getting rid of them.
Part of that is about like the election integrity as well. It's like, do we want people who aren't citizens voting? Because there's lots of states that say yes to that, and that's fucking ridiculous. And also counting illegals in the census and the power that has to give states more representation in Congress. And why should we count illegals in something like that? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So stopping all of that was a huge part of all of the suggestion that the last election was rigged and all this sort of thing. Trump was coming in to say, we are not letting the Democrats lower the voting age and start counting illegals and letting them vote. And, it's like, that was part of it. And if he grants mass amnesty, that is wiping his ass with all of that. And boy, that's not good, man.
Not a fan.
Because as soon as the Democrats get power back, all those people are going to be able to vote. They're all going to be counted in the census. They're all going to be able to vote. And this will be a uni-party state, just like China.
Yep. I mean, I don't understand why he's even entertaining the idea.
Do you think that he needs the support of Democrats? He needs some Democrats to start voting along with him. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, man. I guess
is it
the Republicans have control of the House and the Senate. I mean, I don't trust any of the other people who are in like the position. I guess I do. JD Vance. I trust JD Vance as the president of the Senate. But I don't. I mean, he basically is just in there to break ties. It's not. Being the president of the Senate is not like being the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House controls like what gets voted on. Like they have much more control over what bills get brought forward and things like that. And Mike Johnson is a bum. Like not a fan of that guy, really.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah, I just don't understand why Trump would pick somebody who was so like, I don't know, just like wishy-washy on important things. I don't even know. I don't even have specific issues that I can call to mind, but I just remember he said things that I've been like, that's not great. I don't want my guys to be saying that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like he brings a bunch of Democrat bills to be voted on. Like, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Why are we giving them W's? Don't bring any of their shit up. Ever.
Yeah. I don't know what the rules are. Is that like
no? It's 100% in his power.
Allowed to do that.
100%.
Yeah, okay. Well, boy, it's hard to understand why there's gridlock. But that brings the Massey thing back to mind. It's because not all the Republicans are voting with Trump. So even if we have a majority, they're not all voting the same way. So we don't really.
Yeah.
And Massey's a part of that too. I like, don't get me wrong, I like the principled stance and I'm a libertarian at heart, so I like something about that jives with me.
Yeah.
He's like, these are principles and I'm not bending.
I love Thomas Massey. Yeah, but I'm with you. It's complicated because like, I don't know, man. Like it's just like more of what the things that I worry about with Trump.
The people the Republicans that haven't been voting in line with Trump includes some of my favorite Republicans, Rand Paul and Thomas Massey.
1 second. Well, I was going to say something. It's like the thing that the people keep saying is, I know it's not, I know like it's not, the bill's not perfect, but the stuff's going to come, but like, is it going to come? Like the stuff that you're saying is going to come down the line once we get this bill passed. We got to get this bill passed, I just feel like there's some kind of a track record of like being disappointed. And I don't like, we have to pass this bill that kind of sucks a little bit, We have to do that. but then do we have to do anything else? Like, like what else is going to happen? Yeah. What else is going to happen? Because things that are happening are not great.
Boy,
a bunch of stuff going on I'm not particularly happy about. So
this whole idea of having to pass a shitty bill in order to get something done, something like that level of compromise. What is that? Is that what they call an omnibus bill? Is that what that means? Where
it's
they
just
put a bunch of things together.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always been talk, and there's talk now about
Thomas Massey talked about that on I think Tucker. I think it's Tucker Carlson's show.
Like, why in the world not? Why in the world not?
One issue at a time.
At a fucking time.
Yep.
And let everybody see how you vote on every issue. No compromises need to be made there, man. But then it becomes more of a majority rule situation, and that kind of undermines democracy.
What? I mean, isn't majority rules is democracy?
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. I guess what I mean is the type of representative system that we have. It's intended to give representation to a minority, and that is not what a democracy is. Democracy, you're 100% right, is the rule of the majority.
Yeah.
But in our system, the minority has some representation always.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay, yeah.
I gotcha. Picking up what you're putting down.
Did you see? We don't have to leave this topic, but I'm just saying to you whatever pops in my effing head.
Yeah.
Did you see? There was a news about the United States having a budget surplus for the first time in like over 9 years.
No.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
It sounds good. Now I don't know if that's tariff related. I think it is, but I don't know how it all works. But
I don't really understand. What'd you say it was? A budget what?
Surplus.
Is the word.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how that's possible when we have trillions of dollars of debt. Do we ever have a surplus? Will we ever have a surplus until all of that's gone?
That's such a good point. But it just shows you the kind of manipulation that happens. You're 100% right. We're trillions of dollars in debt.
Yeah.
We can claim to have a budget surplus.
We have money
for
now.
For 1 month or whatever.
There's a word for that.
Propaganda?
No.
Oh,
when you have like all kinds of debt and stuff, but
leverage?
You got money right now. It's a term. It's an inappropriate term.
Oh, see, it's going over my head. You're looking at me like am I supposed to be ringing a bell? It's not ringing a bell.
It's not ringing a bell. I'm not going to say it.
No, you don't have to say it. But like after this, would you fill me in on?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
right.
If anybody, don't type it in the comments. That's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
If you get it, put like a winky face in the comments if you know what it is. I guess there's no way to test if they were right, but who cares?
I was going to say something about Thomas Massey and Rand Paul being the ones that vote against Trump, and they happen to be some of my favorite figures in the party. But where was I fucking going with that?
I don't know, man.
Listen, I want to see what happens if Trump's instincts are right. I want to see what happens if the system just fucking lets this happen. And, he's been a successful businessman. He seems to be, in my mind, he seems to have been playing some 3D chess from time to time. And I don't know if that's just coincidence or if that's the case.
It's 4D chess.
But if the resistance would just stop and we just fucking see what happens if Trump can do what he wants to do, I'm curious if it would work, man. And so that makes me resistant to even the Republicans I like the most. People like
Thomas Massey and Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I've veered away from some of the more like pure libertarian. Like, I don't know how to describe it because there's still some stuff about libertarian ideology that I appreciate. You know.
Yep.
I'll have to think about that, but I like Rand Paul and I like Thomas Massey a lot. Thomas Massey's like one of my favorites, Yeah. And Rand Paul is too. But I mean, there are definitely areas where we part,
Sure.
I don't really know where though. I'm sure there's something, but
I want to be principled and idealistic like Ron Paul is. And I always say, like, you remember when we had these conversations where I like get like fired up about like some level of unfairness and different types of scenarios where people who don't play by the rules are winning, you know, and then the person who's, you know, the noble person is like getting fucked because of specifically because of his virtues, you know. It's like, but that's why I want to be principled like Rand Paul, but at the same time I have this tension, man, where I'm like, if you're principled all the time, you're going to get fucked.
100%.
You're going to get fucked.
Yeah. I think that is kind of where I veer away from libertarianism. Like it's the practice of it, you know. But you could practice it to a certain point, but after that point, it becomes not realistic if you're trying to be like competitive on a world stage or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what, you know.
It seems to be a fact that you cannot achieve a system where everybody fucking just follows the rules.
Yeah.
So somebody who's
I mean,
yeah. So
just depends on the population. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Some populations, it's a lot more likely that people are going to follow the fucking rules. A lot more likely. Japan, it's people follow the fucking rules. You know.
I didn't think you were leaning in the Japan direction. I thought you were leaning in the China direction. That like a strong that a dictator in a strictly controlled culture, like that's what you need.
Well, that works. I do think that. I mean, is it the Philippines? That guy Duarte. He's like a Nayib Bukele. He's a hard ass, you know. But El Salvador is one of the nicest countries in the world now, after being one of the worst countries like 10 years ago. What the fuck's that say? I mean, I don't know. People act like having a more authoritarian right-wing leader is going to be so terrible. Tell that to the people of fucking El Salvador. I think that they're pretty happy about Nayib Bukele. Yeah. And I applaud them. I'm good for them.
Yeah. Boy, it's an interesting case, man. And then you look at Argentina and Javier Milei.
Yeah.
And how amazing that is becoming. That's a different tact. It's the libertarian tact and not the strongman dictator tact. But it's having.
I don't know. I think Milei is willing to push some people around too. Yeah. I don't think he's like a dove, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's different. It's a different vibe for sure.
But they're both working, man.
Yeah.
I just saw some stats about that today. It suggested that not only is inflation like way improved since Javier took over, but the supply of housing has gone up because there's a lot more entrepreneurship and people are out there building. And so the price of housing has fallen. I think they said for rents, 25% and 30% for rents, I think, and 25% for mortgages.
Yeah.
So it's like all of a sudden it's just affordable to live, and it just took almost no time at all.
I think it's undoubted in my mind that having largely free markets is the best idea. Like as free as they can possibly be, I think. Mm-hmm. But I think that there's some stuff that we need to regulate, and I'm like more than comfortable regulating it. Yeah. And if like all the real libertarians out there have a problem with me, we have, you know, you're the minority. You're never going to get what you want. Sucks to be you, you know. We're going to regulate. And I mean, I think stuff like this is coming. I think even stuff like porn needs to be much more regulated than it is now.
I wondered where you were going. I was wondering if you were going in all this about the Chinese buying land in the U.S. and
that
resistance to that.
100%. I think that
they own 2%. 2% of the land of the United States. China owns 2%.
I think a lot of these, not just China though, like I think big corporations like these BlackRock and whatever, I can't remember one of the other ones, but they own a fuck ton of real estate and they just like buy it and don't do anything with it. And I don't really think that they should be able to do that, you know. That's very unlibertarian, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not looking out for whatever corporation, you know.
Sure.
I want to give them, like I said, as much freedom as I possibly can, but I'm more than comfortable drawing a line in places, you know.
Yeah, figuring out where that line is of as much as you possibly can is tricky, man. It's
Yeah.
a trial and error situation. It's probably ever changing. Be difficult.
I guess. I don't know, man. It's like, don't you feel like, I don't know, don't you feel like you kind of know like what stuff is bad?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
there's always going to be people pushing the boundaries and arguing over
that's
it.
true.
Always.
You just don't fucking listen to them, Just be like, crack the whip.
I can't believe this is I'm going to take us off subject if I start talking.
Yeah.
Let's stay.
Oh, I thought you can take us off subject. Let's
stay on this for a little bit longer because I do want to talk about China.
Okay.
All right. So
China.
So one of those things. So you said you think that the government has a role potentially in regulating porn, and also in as far as going against libertarian values, not allowing just any old buddy to purchase land in the United States. That we shouldn't be allowing foreigners of any kind, especially not a potential political rival or whatever, a military rival. And there's like all kinds of good reasons for that, and you've heard them in the news. They say like these the plots of farmland that are being purchased are just many of them are near military sites. Yeah. It's like, well, that's fucking, I mean, of anything that we're going to sell to the Chinese, probably not the ones next to the military sites. You're like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Very stupid.
But I think that is like kind of a low hanging fruit argument. I think the broader argument is, should somebody who's not a citizen be able to own land in the United States? What do you think?
Absolutely not.
So, I mean, a libertarian counter, I mean, I agree with you. So I'm just giving you the devil's advocate position, but the libertarian argument would be that everything's about supply and demand. And, if what's in the best interest of the United States is to...
It's so stupid. I fucking hate libertarians so much, dude. Like, just listening to you say this, I just want to like punch you in the fucking face. And you're my best friend in the world.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead with this stupid bullshit.
Well, let's just say I'm a farmer and I'm selling my land. And the highest bid I get from the United States is, $12 million. Fantastic. Yeah. And someone from the UK comes over here and says, I'll give you $20 million. And someone from China comes over and says, I'll give you $70 million. I mean, I am jumping for glee and selling it to the Asian man. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. But if I'm talking about what's in my best interest, it's a no-brainer. Why would you not make that decision? It's not my job as a consumer to worry about the national security and whether I'm selling this land to somebody that might be dangerous. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's exactly why there needs to be a law, because it's not in your best interest, but if you do it, it would be, eventually it's going to be against everyone's best interest. Like literally China could over the span of 100 years, 150, 200 years, they could buy America.
That is what happened in Israel, in Palestine. The Israelis were just buying up land and little by little, and next thing you know, they own a big chunk of it.
Yeah, they buy and buy and buy, and eventually they have enough land to where they can have like a kind of home base for operations, and then they start becoming terrorists and killing everyone.
How'd that work for the Palestinians?
And the British. I mean,
the British.
None of them. It didn't work out too well. It worked out great for the Jews. The Israelis, they came up aces on that deal.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a terrifying scenario, that just allowing that, what happened in Israel, Palestine, in the whatever it was, the years leading up to when did that take place? Was that like in the early 1900s when the Ashkenazi Jews were buying up land and moving back to the
I think probably early 20th century.
Yeah.
Maybe late, but maybe
late. Yeah.
Maybe late 18th.
Yeah, something century. Like that. Yeah, and that. So, but if you allow that same scenario to play out with this hypothetical, Chinese people buying up land in the United States, next thing you know, they own a big chunk of it and can start. Silence my phone. Apologies. And suddenly they have like political power, and you know how the Chinese are in particular. They buy influence and they steal technology, and it's just like, golly.
They send people to universities and have them collect information and bring it back. Yeah, they're like constantly stealing.
Did you know in China, unless you're like a party, like the son or daughter of a party member, like a high party member, if you go to school in the United States, and many of them will come to Harvard, if you go to school in the United States, you are not allowed to hold office in China.
Oh, really?
Isn't that interesting?
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know that we necessarily need to go to that length, because
that's kind of isolationist, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that like going to university in another country means that they're going to brainwash you into loving that country, because I was just listening to Martyr Made, and Daryl Cooper was talking about this Department of Defense thing that he was at, where they were giving information about how to spot people in the agency who are transmitting information to foreign intelligence services and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he noticed something. They were telling him what to look for, but they didn't say this, that it was always like, this Chinese guy is passing information to the Chinese government. This Iranian guy is passing information to the Iran government. This Russian guy is passing information to the Russian government. It was always like that. And this Israeli guy is passing information to Mossad. And they were just like, don't pay attention to that, like that's not important.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, man. Yeah.
Anything else about that Daryl Cooper podcast?
I don't even remember what that was from, honestly.
Oh.
I think it was maybe the Jeffrey Epstein. I listened to like his 5-hour Jeffrey Epstein when all of this shit went down. And I like remember information from that podcast because I just listened to it recently, but like I can't remember that. It must be what that was from. Must be.
I do want to talk about Epstein, but but while we're on the China subject, there's some things I wanted to mention. I was listening to a podcast. Well, I'll see if I can grab it so I can share it. I think it was Danny Jones. Let me see. No, it was not. Apparently, it was not Danny Jones. Oh, it was. His most recent episode, number 314, it's titled Chinese Defector. I listened to this like middle-aged Chinese woman on Danny Jones' podcast talking about, all kinds of inside information about China that I had no idea about, including the thing I said to you about if you go to university in the United States, you're not allowed to hold office in China. She kind of blew my mind, man. She's an advocate. She's like a anti-CCP advocate. Now, this thing I kind of knew, but it was still an interesting perspective. She was talking about how the CCP in China and the I can't remember what it's called in Taiwan, the government.
TTP.
No, it's called it's like the God damn it. I'm gonna look it up. Let's see.
Government of Taiwan.com.
That's definitely how you spell Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Republic of China. Okay. So the government that received the rule, that inherited the rule from the Chinese Empire. I don't know if it was the Shan, Chan. I don't know what the empire was. My memory's not that good. But when that happened, when it went from a monarchy to a republic, the government that inherited China is the government in Taiwan, not the government in China. The CCP came later, much later, and they're not the legitimate heirs of ruling China.
They want it.
I sort of knew that, but it was interesting when she said it because it makes me understand so much better why China wants Taiwan so badly under their umbrella. It's like if you're like the second born in line for the throne, and you can get your like brother's kids, to live in your fief. There's always the fear, okay, something might happen to my kids or something. It's like you want leverage on the person whose power you're wielding. Yeah. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the fact that Taiwan has a powerful economy and that they have strategic benefit with certain technology, manufacturing certain technology. Like that's all icing on the cake. What the CCP wants is to kill off their older brother so that they can be the legitimate heir. I thought that was interesting, man.
Yeah.
Anything
It's
on
pretty
that?
interesting.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I just generally think that like moving from a monarchy to a republic is like not, you don't want to do that,
Yeah.
I feel like it's not good. You should just stay a monarchy.
Once a monarchy, always a monarchy.
Yeah, don't fuck around and become something else. Just stay a monarchy. I mean, you can give the people like like they had the things that they had.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they were called. But like in Rome, there was like the Senate, and the Senate was like aristocrats.
Right.
It was the wealthy, influential, high-powered families would have members in the Senate. But then they would form things like the tribunes. I think maybe is what it was. They would have like one or two people who were directly picked by the general populace, the plebs, to represent them. And I think eventually it got. I mean, that's what our government's based on. The House of Congress is like that's what we elect them. We vote on people from our areas to go elect, to go represent us.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Congress. That's why there's so many people in the House, and Congress is just 2 senators per state.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're like a little bit more influential,
for sure.
So. I heard, who was it? One of the presidents, I think maybe it was Lyndon B. Johnson. I don't think that's right. Maybe it is though. But he said that it's like the difference between the House and the Senate is like chicken salad and chicken shit. It's like one's not good.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, a few more things on the China subject that I learned on that podcast. One of the things that was fucking fascinating to me. So China,
Coxinos hates this lady, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure. China, as far as like their image on the world stage, holds a lot of power because of their population. They have a lot of consumers.
Yeah.
They have a large army, right? Because they have
a bunch of
1.3 billion people,
supposedly.
Well, this is the thing that she calls into question, and I never heard anybody do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what she says. You tell me if you've heard these arguments because they were all new to me.
Yeah.
She said that that the population of China is at least 300 million people overstated. And the reason for
how many overstated?
300 million.
Okay.
At least. And she said the reason for that is that there are 300 million fake birth certificates in China. Do you know why that would be?
Voting purposes.
Okay, well, here we go. She said that in China, the village in which you're born is where you stay. If you want to go to college outside of your village, tough titty said the kitty. You don't get to. But if you have money, you can buy a fake birth certificate from Beijing.
Interesting.
And then you can send your kid to college in Beijing, but not if you use his regular birth certificate. So there's all kinds of fuckery where these people are buying and printing all these fake birth certificates so that they can move and live in places that the CCP wouldn't otherwise allow them to.
I wonder how much the CCP cracks down on that, or if they don't really care because it's rich people.
It's mostly rich people, yeah.
So they just like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
And we can use it as an advantage to say we have a bunch of fucking people.
Yeah.
We can lie and say we got a huge population.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
And the large army is part of it. It's like, can they march the numbers of people that the West fears they can, if they don't have the population that they claim to have?
Yeah.
And here's where it really gets interesting with her, as she said, it's not even difficult to find out that the population of China cannot be what they say it is. It's an easy math. And she says, here's what the statistics that the CCP publishes. Over the last 50 years, the birth rate was 1.7. The average birth rate was 1.7 in China. And that makes some sense because they had the one-child policy for 50 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So she says you take the number of people living in China 50 years ago and you apply that birth rate, and the number of people that you get is not 1.3 billion. And in order to get to 1.3 billion, the birth rate needs to be approximately 5. every woman in China for the last 50 years, on average, would need to be having 5 kids with a one-child policy where they kill your fucking baby if they find out you have more than one, right? What are the odds? What is the likelihood that that's true? And I'm just like floored by that. I was like, oh my God.
It's crazy.
You know, I didn't check the math, Kyle, but if it's true, if it's
like,
legit,
Rain Man, it's legit. I just did it in my head real quick. It's legit as fuck.
And the other part of that is she says that the thing that makes that interesting is China and India kind of have this similar. I don't know if similar is the right word, but they have this sort of unique situation where they have lots of low skilled labor. They have high populations and people that can do jobs cheaply, and so they can make shit cheaply.
Beat the shit out of tomatoes on the side of a road for you, and like put it in a cup stir it with their hands.
Yeah, you bet.
They got lots of people to do that kind of stuff.
The point is China as competitive in the labor market as India if they don't have the people they claim to have? And so maybe India has got a more interesting future than maybe we otherwise think.
God, that's a dark thought. Fucking India, man.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about China. Like, obviously they're lying about some things, you know? But obviously we're lying about a bunch of shit too. So
yeah, facts.
Yeah,
facts.
I don't know whose lies are worse. I'm honestly inclined to believe that our lies are worse.
Yep. You know, I kind of agree with you because I don't want to agree with you.
Yeah. You're like,
I don't want to think it's possible.
That instinct makes you be like, oh, maybe I'm like trying to give in. Maybe I'm trying to just accept the easy thing to believe.
Yep.
Which is what I think a lot of the hardcore MAGA are doing right now. This like not a lot of these people will give you shit if you express any kind of like displeasure with what's going on right now.
Yeah.
A lot of these, like, first of all, like a bunch of normal people who are active on Twitter or X or whatever will start talking shit to you if you express any kind of displeasure. But then there's also like big accounts, like I'm trying to think of one of them off the top of my head. It's not coming to me. The one that account that I hate, I had to mute this guy. I had to mute a lot of people.
Yeah.
Misfit Patriot. Have you ever seen that guy?
I think so.
I hate that dude. I had to mute him because I just like me replying to him is not going to help anything. You know, it's like, it's not going to do anything. So I'm just going to not see his fucking bullshit. But he's like one of these people, if you're upset about what's going on with Israel and like Trump saying, stop, we give you $3 billion. We give you 300 billion or 300 billion a year.
Yeah. I'll just go with whatever you say. It sounds
Maybe
right.
it's 3 billion. It's one of those two. We give them a lot of
it's either 3
money.
or 300.
Yeah, I don't know. But we give them money and we do a lot of stuff, you know, like militarily for them in terms of, and Trump is trying to negotiate this peace and he says, don't bomb.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And they do it anyways. And they did this in his first term too. They did, when he first came in, Netanyahu was the first person that came to visit the White House.
Yeah.
And they were doing a joint press conference and Trump said, in terms of like the West Bank and them expanding their settlements and stuff like that, Trump was like, I would like you to do a little bit less of that, you know, and let's try to work something out. And I think that things are, you know, once we start negotiating and getting things done the right way, I think there might be a bigger upside than anybody even knows about, you know?
Yeah.
And Netanyahu went back to Israel and expanded into the West Bank. So,
and that was pre-Abraham Accords. That was when he first got elected.
Yeah. Just fuck Netanyahu, fuck Israel. And for somebody like that retard misfit patriot to be like, oh, why are you upset about that? What the fuck do you mean? Why am I upset about that? Why are you not upset about that? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then another thing, he's like, we're going to have to send money to Ukraine. We're going to have to send, fuck that, man.
Let's talk about that for a second. Cause I heard that, but I didn't look into it deeply. It seemed to me like after Trump couldn't immediately get the Ukrainians and the Russians to agree to end the conflict.
Yeah.
That he tried several different times, right? And either Zelensky or Putin was not, I can't remember the details. I don't think it was one sided. I think it was happening on both sides. He eventually kind of seemed like he was throwing his hands up. He was
fuck you people.
Right. So if he was throwing his hands up and saying, you know what, it's America first. If you guys aren't willing to play ball, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my money. Yeah. Well, now he's turning the faucet back on and wasting the money. So I don't quite understand that.
Not a fan.
Unless you think that he thought Putin was going to finally end it, and then was giving him the benefit of the doubt. And when it didn't happen, when Putin's like doubling down, maybe he decided, okay, I guess I'll fund the enemy now. Is it a spiteful move? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it either. It doesn't. How does giving weapons and money to Ukraine help America? I just don't like. What outcome over there, whether it's Ukraine or it's Russia, who ends up in the advantageous position, how much of a difference does that make for us one way or the other? I'm sure that there could be ways that it makes a difference for us, like with this mineral deal that we have with Ukraine now, which I guess if we're going to be over there, we should be getting something out of it. But who knows how much we're going to be fucking getting? How much are we putting in?
This is a good point you bring up. The question that comes to my mind is the part of Ukraine where these mineral deposits are and these mines are, is this a part that's at risk
affected by
going back to Russian control?
Could be. I don't know. Huh. I don't really know the answer to that either.
Because if that's the case, that would make some explanation for why he would want Ukraine to win.
Yeah, I would honestly just rather wipe my hands of this mineral deal and not be involved in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
If we can have the mineral deal, again, I don't know the details of this. I don't know how much we're putting in. I don't know how much it's guaranteed that we're going to get out of it. I don't have any of those details. So that's important stuff. If it's not good for us, then I don't think we should fucking do it. And I don't think we should do it if it's only kind of good for us.
Yeah.
That's the point that we're at as a country right now. We're not the world's fucking bank anymore. We need to be tightening the fucking belt.
Agreed.
And the rest of the world, if that means the rest of the world has to tighten the belt, I don't give a fuck. I don't really like the rest of the world. I'm America first, very much so. Yeah. And all of the rest of the world seems to be kind of against America, so I'm against them. I don't give a fuck about these people.
It does kind of seem that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100% it seems that way. And even our allies, even our greatest allies, are bombing Iran after we said not to. Yeah. And they're attacking Russia when we said not to, and Russia's attacking them. I just don't. It's all pissing me off.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. I mean, we have our enemies in the Middle East. We have those people that hate us in the Middle East, and they have reasons to hate us.
Yeah, but they also don't have any real means to fuck with us either. Like they could send sleeper cells into America. They probably got them here.
Yeah.
But they're not fucking with us. The last time they fucked with was 9/11, and we let them fuck with us on that. I mean, we don't have to get into it. That's a whole other thing,
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, I was trying to make a contrast between having quote unquote enemies in the Middle East versus in the first time in my life, and maybe the first time in a very long time. Anyway, the Western liberal nations hate us. The French hate us. The British hate us.
Canada hates us.
Oh, Canada hates us.
Mexico
for Christ's sake.
Us.
Yeah, man. Like, to me, like we are always a couple of steps behind the mistakes of Europe. So they're
leading the way and fucking.
They are. Yeah. They turn to democratic socialism. Cough under my breath, communism a long time ago, and we're right behind them.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the disdain of the Western world against America has something to do with the fact that
jealous.
we still have a level of this
swagger,
individualism, a level of this,
we're fucking cowboys, dude. We're Americans and we think we're the best.
Yep.
And
we are.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not bad to think that if it's true, Anderson Silva was the shit until he wasn't.
Indeed.
Hopefully that's not where we're at. Hopefully we can get over the hump, but yeah, no, I really do have very little patience for this. Like, it's been this way for a long time. Like, the rest of the world has, I think you were just saying that it's like new, but it's not really new. Maybe it's like dialed up a little bit right now, but the rest of the world has always kind of been like, ugh, Americans, like they think that we're like boorish and, just like meatheads, and well, we are fat, but
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
getting less fat every day, you fucking European communist fuckers.
You say that, and I understand what you mean, but at the same time, they consume American media.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. They're hypocrites.
Like, we hate America, but we fucking love America.
Yeah, I'm happy to bring up any negative things about them. We can keep going. They are hypocrites. They love everything American,
Yeah.
Consume the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Dude, like people in Germany and people in, how they learn to speak English? Watching American TV, watching British TV.
I mean, up until recently with some shows on Netflix that are like produced in Sweden or Korea, South Korea or something like that.
Yeah. Hollywood's been it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you live in Germany and there's plenty of programming in German. But you're watching fucking English, American shows in English, American movies in English.
Yeah.
It's like, am I watching Korean shows in Korean? Well, not generally not. Although, like I said, Netflix is starting to make a difference there.
I've watched some stuff that is in different languages.
Yeah.
With
precious
obviously.
little. I don't know what TV shows are on in any other country. I don't know watching them.
Yeah.
Although I do like British TV a little, so I'll.
Yeah, but that's in English, so.
It is in English, yeah.
There's been shows like Babylon Berlin was a show that was on Netflix that was in German. It was a really good show.
That show Freud on Netflix was in German, and it was fantastic. One of my favorite series ever. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Fucking bugs, man.
Yeah, a little bug in here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah.
Movies or TV.
Pan's Labyrinth, that was in Spanish, right?
Was it?
I think
it's been a long time.
That movie had such an impact on me, and
it was a good one. I remember it being a good movie, but it's just been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's been a long time. All right, that brings us to Epstein.
What
are your thoughts on all this? And this has been, kind of like center of the news the last. I don't know. It's interesting how this happens because it kind of, to me, seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere. Like there's ebbs and flows of the Epstein outrage. It's like when it goes away, I don't ever expect it to resurface, and then it'll just resurface like what happened this past week. And it's not clear to me if that's organic or not. And I understand we've talked about it before. There's a lot of people that are like, we thought we were going to get answers, and this is like really unacceptable. But then it like wanes, and people fucking move on. And then it's like, well, people aren't going to just go back to that. I don't think. Yeah. Once the fucking news changes, they go with whatever the next thing is.
I definitely know what you mean, and I think that you're right. I think that you're right to be skeptical about whether it's organic or not.
Yeah,
who fucking knows if it is or not? But I do think that Epstein is I think it's one of those issues that people are going to be thinking about. It's like if you try to just not talk about it anymore, there are going to be people who are still talking about it.
Right. But don't you think there's got to be constantly, Reddit threads and all kinds of things online right now and nonstop for the last several years. There's been Epstein remarks, comments, discussions going on, all this stuff like that. That didn't change, but all of a sudden there was, 20% of my Twitter feed is outrage about Epstein, and then 2 days later, Trump's talking about firing Pam Bondi. That seems very fucking weird. Right? It's like nothing. In my opinion, nothing changed in the zeitgeist. People were still talking about Epstein. They were still outraged about Epstein.
Well,
and then suddenly it's you know, like nothing changed, and all of a sudden
something did change.
It's been upvoted. It's been upvoted such that it's in everybody's feed, and it's causing political turmoil at the highest levels. When a week ago it wasn't.
But something did change.
What changed?
They said that he didn't kill himself, and that there's no list. You know, it's like so something did change very significantly.
Yeah. Okay.
But to the point that we were talking about before, I don't know why they decided to announce that. You know, why didn't they just keep it to themselves? You know,
right.
I think maybe it's because they know that people aren't going to stop talking about it. So that's like, we just had to bite the bullet and just say this thing that sucks.
Yeah.
And there's zero chance that it's true. You know, it's like anybody who has taken the time to look into the Epstein situation knows that this is not true. You know, like something about this is wrong. I'm not opposed to the idea that Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself, but there's obviously some fuckery going on here. Like maybe he did kill himself. I could see a guy who's been living as, you know, a super wealthy, super powerful person with a ton of freedom to do whatever the fuck they want, wanting to kill themselves because they're going to be in prison forever. Or because they know that somebody's going to kill them if they don't.
Yeah. I did hear that there was some sort of evidence that the cause of Jeffrey Epstein's death was violent.
Oh yeah, he had bones broken in his neck that very rarely get broken if you're hanging yourself. Yeah. They tend to get broken when you've been strangled by somebody. That's when those, it's like 4 bones. I can't remember what they're called, but
there's 1 minute of tape that's missing, something like that.
Yeah.
And the video is supposed to show that nobody went in or out, so he had to have killed himself.
Yeah.
But there's a minute missing.
Yeah. And also he had you know, he's hanging himself, and I think it was from the bottom bunk. It wasn't even the top bunk.
Yeah.
And he had to hang from it hard enough to kill himself, but there were like bottles of medication that were standing on a rail that didn't get knocked over.
Oh geez.
I don't even know if that's true.
But you heard it.
Yeah, I did hear it.
Yeah, interesting.
But it's a bunch of circumstantial evidence, you know, but it's a lot of it, man. It's a bunch of weird stuff. And dude, Epstein's entire life, since he like got a job, like his very first job is weird. And it like his entire life from there on out is just weird.
Yeah.
And like he has all these connections to people, and all of these people that he has connections to are involved in weird shit too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we know that he was trafficking people. We know that he was trafficking young girls. That is on record. That is a 100% truthful statement.
Yeah.
And we know that he was pimping them out. If he's trafficking them, he has to be selling them to somebody. And maybe it is, maybe it's not a bunch of like really powerful people, but I don't understand how he's as wealthy as he is. You know, that doesn't make any sense.
No. If
he's not making his money by pimping out young women, how is he making all this money? Because I think it had to have been the Daryl Cooper podcast. He said that when somebody gets wealthy, when somebody becomes a billionaire, it doesn't, you know, like you start noticing that person on the scene way before they're a billionaire.
Right.
They don't just become a fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
And nobody knows where he got his money. There was no come up for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
And his whole life's like that, man. It's like he got his first job as a math teacher at like a high-end boarding school in New York with no teaching experience. Just got offered this job by the headmaster. And the headmaster is one of those guys. He's the headmaster of a high school. Okay. And his side project is writing like erotic science fiction about fucking kids.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Like enslaving and like raping. I shouldn't say that word, but I get irritated about that, but we don't want to get off, but yeah. So that's the guy who offered him his first job. This guy's name was Donald Barr.
Yeah.
Who's Bill Barr's father.
Oh, really?
And Bill Barr is the attorney general who was in charge of prisons and stuff in the United States when Epstein killed himself.
Interesting.
Isn't that, I mean, again, that doesn't prove anything.
Well,
but it's weird.
Yeah. You're right, though. The fact that Trump specifically came out and made a statement suggesting or claiming, confirming that Epstein, in fact, killed himself, when there's plenty of evidence to say that that's at least questionable, trying to put the kibosh on that. And then Pam Bondi doing the same thing about the client list. You know, I heard that the client list didn't exist. And then I heard that the client list was invented by the Democrats. Like it was the same thing as the dossier. Yeah, it was just a fabricated thing. So getting those two messages also is also very strange. It's like, well, which is it?
Yeah. That's complete bullshit. Okay. There's zero chance. What does that mean that there is no client list? What does that mean?
Why?
Because he's a pimp. He got charged for doing that. We know that he was doing that. So he wasn't just doing it to like he didn't have like a what's it called? Like a bunny ranch in Vegas for underage girls. And he's not selling these people to like normal people.
Right.
So obviously he's selling them to somebody. So there has to be a client list. It's not possible for there not to be a client list. So now you could say that you don't know the client list. Mm-hmm. You could say that.
Yeah.
But
I think that might actually be the best chance of being true if any of this is true.
It's fucking bullshit though. It's not true.
Well,
I don't believe that at all.
What I heard was that when the FBI raided Epstein's house, that the court order was very limited. That they were only allowed to take very specific things, and that's normal. That's mm-hmm. how it's supposed to be. But because they could only take what was on the what is it called the subpoena warrant. Thank you. They could only take what was listed there. That potentially wherever the client list wasn't among them, and so there would have been opportunity for somebody to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I don't think that we're ever going to see really any of it, but I think. I can't be mad at Trump for not exposing this stuff if that's the case. If there's nothing really to expose anymore, then I can't really be mad at him for that. Although I can a little bit because the Epstein stuff came out when he was president. So why couldn't we have more transparency then? You know, I don't know.
I mean, if it's the case that there isn't a client list because the FBI didn't get it when they had an opportunity to get it. Well, that shines a negative light on the FBI, especially 100%. During Trump's first administration. That also shines a negative light on Trump. So,
100%.
Yeah, it's a mess, man.
It is a mess, and it's not a mess that people are gonna forget about. I don't think.
Yeah. I just wonder if it's a Democratic tactic to continue to whip up the Epstein stuff, to continue to create more doubt and separate conservatives from the MAGA movement. Because if it is intentional, it's fucking brilliant.
I don't know how to feel about that, man, because like I definitely get that if that is what they're doing and it works out that way, then that's a good move on their part.
That's all I'm saying. Brilliant on their part, strategically.
But I do think that like, should I not care? You know, even if the Democrats are pushing that propaganda, should I not care because the Democrats are pushing it? Yeah. And honestly, like I'm more confused about the answer to that question than than I care to admit.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah. But it does seem to me like the kind of thing the Democrats would do.
Oh, yeah.
It
seems like the kind of stuff that I wish we would do more of, like I want to be out there. Eddie Guerrero, lie, cheat, steal, viva la raza.
Oh, Orderly.
I don't watch it, but I love wrestling. There was this one time where RVD and Eddie Guerrero. Oh, you do that at the beginning of the podcast. Is that a RVD reference?
No, but it will be from now on.
From now on,
yeah.
it is. RVD and Eddie Guerrero were having a feud because they both used the frog splash. That was what the feud was about. And Eddie Guerrero was like standing up on like the top, the middle and top rope, you know, and I think RVD was down at the Jumbotron. And, you know, Eddie Guerrero's cutting a promo and he says, "Who do you think you are, Harvey D?" It's just like a pause between them. I love those kind of like awkward bloopers that you get when something is live.
Yeah.
That kind of shit cracks me up, man.
Yeah. It happens to me when I'm recording sometimes, and you just have to roll with it, man.
Yeah, or it's just start over.
Just pretend it's intentional.
Yep. Do it again. That's what they say in music, you know. If you're like playing a guitar solo and you hit a bad note, you just hit it, do it again. So it makes it seem like you're doing it on purpose. You know?
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's like jazz, you know, every now and then you get like a weird note.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be there because it's jazz.
Because it's improvised.
It's improvised, baby. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't really know what else to say about any of that.
Any of the Epstein stuff? Let me think. Do I have any?
I could say tons more stuff about the Epstein stuff, but dude, that whole situation is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like there's that journalist who, no, it's not a journalist. It was some kind of attorney, some kind of like prosecutor or something like that, was asking why when Epstein got busted for his involvement with kids, that the first time when he got charged and everything, why he got such a good deal.
Yeah.
And he said, because someone told me that I can't do anything to him. He belongs to intelligence.
Yeah. So
that's
the other thing that we should talk about.
Yeah. That's the main thing. Like, I don't get me wrong. I feel terrible for the victims. Dude, I've been watching a lot of like, videos on YouTube of cop like interactions, like people getting, dude, the stuff with the kids is so hard to watch, man. It's so sad, but I feel terrible for the victims. I do. And I think that we need to get justice for them. Any of these people who did anything, we need to they need to get prison sentences at the very least. Mm-hmm. Okay. But the other people that we need to take action on, and I feel like this is the bigger issue. Who are the people who committed treason because they were leveraged? Who are the people who were, you know, manipulating people in illegal ways, doing terrible things? You know, like all of this immigration that we've been bringing into the United States. Are we doing that because someone said, hey, Biden, you're just going to open the floodgates. And if you don't, and maybe it's not even about him. Maybe it's about like Hunter. Maybe it's about Hunter. Would it surprise you at all if Hunter was banging? You know what I mean?
Not at all.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. The guy's a fuck up. And like an immoral, just fucked up person. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if there was that kind of information on various people. It wouldn't surprise. We know about Biden's past. You ever hear about his daughter's journal? His daughter's diary that somebody found?
No.
The thing that the defense is that people say that it's not real, but it seems like it's real. She's like a crazy person and she's been in hospitals and whatnot. And I think that somebody found it and said that like they showered, bugs in my eye. It's like a little fruit fly, that they said that they would shower together inappropriately and that she has like memories of it. And it's like not good. Like it, you know. Again, allegedly, because I can't prove that it's true.
Boy.
But all of these people, man, it's like I'm telling you, all of these people that are connected to Epstein have something like that Donald Barr guy writing that fucked up science fiction.
Yeah.
There's all of them have like this weird stuff, like the Podestas, Tony and John Podesta. You know, John Podesta is the guy whose emails got leaked and they had all that weird coded language in it about pizza and maps and stuff like that. And it was found out that, and again, this is just a coincidence. that all of those words were like registered with the FBI as like codes that pedophiles would use. And also, well, I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but so those guys, James Alefantis owned that Comet Ping Pong. That's what Pizzagate was all about.
Yeah, I remember.
So that's pizza related. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that doesn't mean anything, you know, but it makes it seem like maybe it means something when you look at that you can look at archived versions of it. You look at his Instagram and a bunch of weird shit, dude.
Really?
It's a bunch of like videos, like pictures and videos of just like, I can't even think of what they are off the top of my head, but you'd be like unnerved by it. And that Comet Ping Pong place, they would have bands play. This is supposed to be like a family pizza joint ping pong restaurant.
Yeah.
They have bands play with names like Sex Stains, where they have videos where they're like, that are just like suggestive about weird, just very weird stuff. Then there's those Podesta guys and that Tony Podesta, his art collection. And it's all paintings of like dead kids in pools and like women being like sculptures of women being like tortured and shit.
Jesus Christ.
And one of the artists that he really likes, he like buys a ton of her work, is this woman who, when she was growing up, was like brutally molested, like for like her entire childhood. And now she's a psycho. A psycho. I don't know. She's fucked up, you know? And she's an artist. She paints, and all of her, it's just all like the darkest shit you've ever seen in your life. And he loves it.
Wow.
It's fucking weird. Again, none of it proves anything. Modern art's fucking weird. I hate it.
Yep.
I hate all of it. But it doesn't prove anything that he likes weird art. But in relation to everything else, all of the people that he's around and stuff like that, it's fucking weird, man. And I feel like even if the client list is gone, like the official copy or whatever is gone, we should start turning over some stones. Maybe we should like have another investigation, open another. I feel like that would go a long way for the people. They should do that. I'm just like, Trump needs to hire me. Open another Epstein investigation.
There's got to be a money trail.
There's got to be something.
Yeah.
And you know, at the worst, you come out and you say, nope, we couldn't find any. I guess that is pretty bad, but I don't think that would be the truth. I think that we could probably figure something out. But yeah, all this stuff with Bondi and Kash Patel and Bongino.
Yeah.
I gotta say, if I had to pick between Bongino and Bondi, I would pick Bongino. Like, I like what he's doing right now better than I like what she's doing.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is that shit rolls uphill. And at the end of the day, Trump is the boss. So I don't know, man. I just don't know what to think about any of it. I do want to give Trump the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Without question.
I do too.
But I just don't know how long I'm going to be comfortable being like, well, we'll just, sign the bill, the big, beautiful bill, even though a lot of it sucks. Am I going to have to do that again before I start getting like a big win?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you.
I'm excited that the big, beautiful bill is passed and out of the way.
Yeah.
And now we can see what happens. Hopefully it's good. Yeah. I don't know.
I want to see what happens too. The whole tariffs thing's interesting. Like, we talked about the budget surplus and all this, hundreds of billions of dollars that are coming in from these tariffs. And then I see like these libertarian posts online that remind me that tariffs is the opposite of free trade, and libertarians are supposed to be about free trade. But it's, again, one of those things about if I'm principled and I stick with that, am I vulnerable in ways that I'm not realizing?
You are, like 100%.
100%. Everybody has to play by the rules for libertarian, for any idealistic system to work. And
honestly, I feel like there being some ways to get around the rules might even make things better. But what I'm trying to say is that seeing those, finding out where those are, and then putting stoppages, like some kind of blockage against it, I think that's good. I think that we should be doing that.
Yeah.
If there's something, like I said, we should be as free market as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And once we see where there's some kind of friction, that trade being too free is causing, because I do believe that happens. Like, I don't think that's a pure libertarian would be like, that never happens, but I think it does. I think that there's a lot of stuff you can't argue. You can't tell me that you think that people should be able to go to CVS and buy fentanyl. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
I saw this thing. This person was showing like he had these little vials, and he was showing the sizes of doses that would kill people for pills.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, 5 pills or something. I don't know how much it was. Heroin. And it was like, I don't know. Again, I don't know how much it was, but you could see it. It was like a little pile of heroin.
Yeah.
And then it was fentanyl, and it was just like the tiniest little pinprick. And he said that's enough to kill 2 people.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've seen those stories, man. Like the cop.
Yeah, it gets
cop
a
will
waft of.
Yeah, just he does CPR on somebody who's laying on the street, and he gets fentanyl all over his lips and fucking dies.
I said I've been watching those YouTube cop videos, and I've never seen this, and I don't want to. If I see one, I hope I don't click on it. I thought that there have to have been drug sniffing dogs who have died, and that just makes me sad, man.
Oh.
I don't want the dogs to die.
Yeah. I wonder how that drug affects the dog. I mean, it's
got to kill them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're mammals. They're similar enough to us that it's got to. I can't imagine that it wouldn't kill them the same way it does us.
I saw a clip the other day of a guy waving his hand at this snapping turtle.
Oh, I think I saw that.
And it grabbed hold of his pinky.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, I saw that.
That actually happened. I can't remember who it was that happened to. When I was a kid, when I was young, it was me and my sister and a friend in the neighborhood whose name was also Chris, in the neighborhood. And we found one of those snapping turtles down in that little spillway creek that ran through the neighborhood. And I remember we like kicked it onto a tarp and drug it out of the creek, and it bit. Maybe it must have been Chris. Bit a hold of his finger, and those things do not let go. He had to
serious business.
He had to rip his whole finger to get this thing off of him.
That's probably not the best way to do that. I think that there's probably a method.
When you're like 10 years old.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah. You're panicking.
Yeah.
I mean, if it happened to me at my age, I would be panicking.
Sure.
I don't know what I would do. I'd probably, what would you do? And let's just figure this out. What would you do if you found yourself with a snapping turtle firmly lodged itself onto
Actually, at this point in my life, I do think that I would react more collectedly.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I would panic.
But what would you do? How would you solve that problem?
Well, also it depends on the type of turtle, because some of those turtles, they're taking your fucking finger off, dude. And I do think that I would, even if I did lose my finger, I think I'd probably be able to keep it together.
Yeah.
But I don't know that, if you look down and your finger's fucking gone, I can't swear that my brain's going to stay in the right, state of mind.
Suppose that you're in this situation, you don't react by just ripping it off because you need the pain to stop.
Yeah.
You're taking a thought. Do you
I would
kill the turtle? Do you pry it open somehow?
I don't think that I would kill it. I think that I would try not to, because I also don't think that it would like necessarily help. Like, what if you kill it and it's like jaws stay shut or something?
Yeah,
I don't know what happened, but I would think to like try to like balance it to where it's not like hanging on my hand and hurting me, like putting it on a table and then like pinching the side of its head,
pinch his
like
turtle head,
squeeze his head around like right by his jaw, like what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
And maybe if somebody's there with me, they could like try to like pull his nose up, but you don't want him to like let go and bite again, and you don't want him to bite the people if you have someone to help you don't want him to bite them. And also turtles, this like little nasty mouths, they got like bacteria, and so you should probably go to the hospital after that.
Yeah. So if I try to imagine myself in that situation, the first thing I think I'll do is grab a pair of needle nose pliers and shove it in its mouth and try to open it. Try to free my finger by wedging it open with pliers.
So you're putting the needle nose pliers between like its top mouth part and the top part of its jaw and your finger, and just like
I'm putting it around my finger, opening it up.
So like top prong of the pliers on the top,
Yep.
bottom on the bottom
Yeah.
jaw, and
That's how I think that's what comes to my mind.
that's the move.
Not squeezing its jaws, but that might work too, man.
Yeah, I think I still think that my move would be go to the sides, like try to pinch its jaw,
All right.
or like maybe try to like startle it, like flick the top of its head.
Yeah.
Fucking turd,
Yeah.
give it something to
jar
it out of letting my finger out of its mouth.
Maybe so. Bribe it with some morsel of food or something.
Yeah, pizza.
Turtles love pizza.
They do love pizza. I love turtles. Actually, I would like to have a pet turtle. I'm not into having pets right now. I have my dog and I love him, but I don't want any more pets. Right now. But I would like to have a turtle eventually someday. I would like to have a snake too. I like snakes.
I see. This is a surprise to me.
Really?
I never would have imagined you want any kind of reptiles in your house.
Man, I used to not like snakes. I mean, I wasn't like afraid of snakes or anything really, but I never would have wanted to have a snake as a pet. But there was this kid that my youngest brother was friends with from high school, and they were out of high school by the time I got to know him. And he was always into having like iguanas and shit like that.
Yeah.
And one day he brought over a little corn snake. And it was just cool, man. And he didn't bring over like a heat lamp and stuff. And I don't think he was the greatest pet owner, So after the snakes get cold, like when a reptile gets cold, they like drop off energy wise, know. And I could tell it was like, this thing's not doing well. So it was like, I wrapped it around my hand and my hands are always hot as fuck.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
It perked up.
Yeah.
And then you were like, now I must have
it loved me. Like, I mean, it loved the heat. It didn't love me, but it was like, I don't know. It was like the first time that I saw it as like, I don't know, like an animal that you take care of, just like I take care of Pat, like,
like
they're not as close to us as mammals.
Yeah.
But,
still possible to nurture them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that particularly dogs, dude, Patton fucking loves me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that he loves me the way that humans love each other. But I used to be one of those people who was like, no, that's just like, they're like basically like
robots.
wet robots, some kind of like futuristic cyborg, like flesh robot. They don't feel anything, but I don't think that anymore.
No.
Again, it's not as complex as humans, but it's there. There's something going on there.
No, I agree. I think dogs love their owners if they have kind owners. I think that's if they're not experiencing the same kind of love as they're not. They're not.
Definitely not.
But there's something akin to it that they're experiencing. And I think you're probably right that the snake enjoying the warmth of your skin is some version of that same sort of it's some lesser version, you might say. But
I think that snakes are smart enough. They have not a lot of brain power. Reptile brains are pretty basic.
Yeah.
But they have enough going on, I think, to obviously they can tell the things that they like and that they don't like, And I think that they can also associate this thing on a person, this thing. Whenever it's around, I get things that I like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that that's part of it with reptiles. And I really do think that that's about as deep as it goes with reptiles. But it's something,
Yeah.
Whereas Pat, he loves when I feed him, but also he's like, I think just generally happy to see me when I get home, like when I get home, he's super pumped,
Dude, if you conditioned a snake to do what you just suggested, to see you, to recognize this is the thing that provides the warmth that I like.
Yeah.
That is, I think, even if the emotion is just what I explained just there, that the snake is having a cognition of, I want and like this thing, that's, if you simplify it as much as you can, the snake sees you, recognizes that thing and says, it's not you that he wants, it's the warmth that he wants, but he associates you with that. And I think, man, how different is that, even in a reptile brain, from the type of love that we would use more detailed language to describe, but it's similar, man. It's very similar. It's,
I want
you.
I want vagina, and this person provides it for me.
Baby, I want you.
Is it deeper than that?
Yeah, it's more than just, I mean, it can be that, but it's more than just that. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. The thing like that I think this like makes me think of more than anything is sometimes my wife, I'll go to bed before she does, and I find it hard for me to relax enough to fall asleep when she's not there. And it's like I guess I am accustomed to it. That's one thing. So it's normal, and I'm in this situation that it's not normal. I also have this obligation to protect and care for her when she's not around and I'm sleeping and vulnerable. Maybe I have some sort of thing, psychological thing in there that says you can't sleep right now. Your woman is unprotected. Maybe there's something going on like that. But
you should pick her up in your arms and carry her to bed.
Yeah, she'd like that.
She might not. She's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Where am I going with this? But so when she's not there, I have difficulty sleeping. And the moment she comes back, the moment she lays in bed, there's a certain anxiety goes away and I can fall asleep instantly, you know? So I want her there. Like I fucking want her there. And like if I have to sleep in a hotel or whatever, like if I'm sleeping without her there, sucks, man.
Yeah.
It sucks. I want her. And that my point is when you simplify that whole scenario with the snake, it wants you, like, you know, there's something very similar there.
Yeah.
You know, different by degree, but not of kind.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't really identify with you in the I don't care if you go to bed when I go to bed, you know, like if I'm tired, I'm going to bed, you know.
But if you've been sleeping next to a lady for 10 years.
Yeah, I could see that. But I could also see me not caring. So, like, I don't think that I'm an inconsiderate person. I think that I'm like pretty good. You know, like I think if strangers met me, they would think, oh, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He may be a little quiet, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that you are more considerate than I am in some ways, especially I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it, but you're I don't know.
It's a difference in personality, man.
Yeah.
And that's like a way more interesting and deeper conversation than like saying we have different personalities is an oversimplification of what you're describing. There are ways in which people are different that is, I don't know if it's as weird to other people as it is to me, but my whole life, I always pretty much thought people were basically like
more
me.
Or less, yeah.
And the older you get, the more you realize
people are
varied,
widely varied.
Yes, they are widely varied. And there's not a fucking single person like you.
Yeah.
You might find some that are similar in certain ways. You're a fucking snowflake, man.
Yeah.
People are not like you. So we're different. And it's like how we respond to things, how we, whether our feelings get hurt, whether we, whether we feel like with your, when you were listening to the Crucible in the early days and you were really enjoying that debate, and I listened to it and I'm like this guy's mean and this is unproductive. You know,
it's funny that we're talking about this because just earlier today I was thinking, why do humans like different foods? You know, like why do some people like strawberries and other people don't like strawberries?
Yeah.
If it's edible, why don't we just like everything that we can eat?
Yeah.
If it's fine to eat, why don't we just like it?
Interesting.
And I don't really know what the answer to that is. I'm sure that genetics have something to do with it because of something like cilantro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some people have genetics that make them feel like cilantro tastes like soap.
Yeah. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, me neither. I love cilantro. Although I will say that I have tasted soap before in cilantro, but I don't know.
Yeah. But it's not off-putting.
Yeah, no, I don't even know that I should say that I taste soap, but I guess I kind of understand how somebody could perceive it as
that's
soap.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love cilantro.
Yeah.
The shit. I like putting cilantro, like fresh cilantro in salads.
Yeah.
It's fucking good, man.
So this thing about like why people don't just like anything that's edible.
Yeah.
Partly like my mind goes to like an evolutionary reason, which is like, maybe like if I can adapt myself to eat food that other people think's gross, then I'll survive because I have that food to eat. No one else is eating it, that kind of thing. But that doesn't really answer because it could be.
Doesn't it seem to be more beneficial, like evolutionarily beneficial to just eat anything?
Right. Like it would be better if we had no sense of taste. Well, maybe that wouldn't be the case because like high calorie foods, we have to be
True.
able to figure out
That's
what
a
they
good
are.
point.
Maybe that. But I think there's more than an evolutionary explanation for it because the perfect evolutionary resolution to that is to I can taste everything, so I can distinguish high calorie foods from low calorie foods. But none of those tastes are bad. Like unless I'm eating poison, none of those tastes they're different.
Oh,
yeah. I will eat anything that's edible because it all tastes good to me. Everything that tastes good. Right? That could be an evolutionary advantage where then I could eat whatever the fuck's available. Don't you think that'd be the best solution? If everything tastes good, that wasn't toxic to me?
Yeah. Anything that's bad for you, you put it in your mouth. And which, I mean, that is kind of how a lot of stuff is. Like,
oh yeah,
a lot of stuff that is not good for you, you would not, you put it in your mouth and you're just like, ugh,
yep,
you know?
Yep.
Or it's
spoiled and you're like,
something.
Yeah. You ever do that? You ever like, when I was a kid, you would drink milk out of the carton, like when you were a little savage.
I never really did that.
Oh, I did. Get up in the morning, you grab the orange juice or the milk or whatever, you just take a big gulp out of it. When I was a kid, I did that every single day.
Yeah.
So if you drink juice at my house, you're welcome.
Getting some backwash.
Probably. But one time I did grab a gallon of milk and chug because I was thirsty, dude. I'm chugging. And it was fucking gross.
Yeah. I've never tasted bad milk.
I didn't throw up.
Did you spit it out?
What I hadn't swallowed, yes, I spit out, but I'd swallowed a great deal of it.
Oh, yeah?
A great deal of it.
Nice. Did you get sick?
I don't remember getting sick, no. Yeah. But it was not something not a mistake you'd make again.
Yeah.
You give that jug a sniff before
give her a look.
Yeah,
exactly. I was actually thinking about something milk related earlier too. You know, a half gallon of milk now comes in the same kind of plastic thing that a gallon comes in, but it's just like thinner, you know? Yeah. But they used to come in cardboard, really, you know, like the fold top cardboard.
Oh, yeah.
What did gallons used to come in back in the day? Was it? I know at one point it was glass. Like the milkman would deliver glass.
That's the only thing that comes to my mind. You're wondering, did they ever make a gallon-sized paper?
Yeah,
container?
Like a cart. Yeah, like that folding paper top, a gallon.
Let's ask Google because that's a tremendous question.
Was it a fucking bucket?
Was there ever a paper box milk
gallon?
Try
new AI mode and go fuck yourself.
It says yes, there were 1 gallon paper. Look, this is what they look like.
It's a big ass,
dude. That's like the milk that you got at school. That little box of milk that you open up, but it's like a giant one, man. That's tremendous. Look at that.
Pretty sweet.
When did they stop making those? In the 1970s and 80s is when that was a thing, and they shifted to plastic. And now we have microplastics in our testicles, Kyle.
Yep. Go back to paper.
And the
RFK, baby. Let's move back to paper.
Yeah. They've got chopped down trees.
Better for the world too.
Or maybe hemp. Maybe we use hemp instead of paper.
And dude, hemp would be good from what I understand. You can do a lot with hemp, but you can grow sustainable trees for paper and stuff pretty easily too.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I understand, it's not like I'm an expert in these things, but you know, go down rabbit holes, you know, get curious about something. I'm surprised I didn't look that up because I think that was earlier today. You know, the days kind of bleed together, you know, but I just had that thought recently.
Speaking of getting curious,
bi-curious.
I was at the market here in Cleveland, the West Side Market.
I'm glad it wasn't bi-curious. I was worried there for a second.
We were on our way out.
Saw a cute guy.
Saw a feller. We made eye contact. No, in one of the things there was a whole bunch of like ground meat and different kind of things in one of the cases. And I just happened to look down and I see ground camel.
Did you buy it?
And there was like buffalo and different kind of things. No, because we were right on our way out. But man, am I curious. Ever since I saw that camel, I'm like, I'm curious. I want to eat camel, man. I want to know what it tastes like. So I'm going to go back to the market one of these days and get some camel.
Cool.
You want to eat some camel with me, man?
I'll eat a camel burger.
Like a burger?
I guess that's the first thing that came to my mind.
It was ground. The camel was ground.
You said that. That's why I thought burger.
Yeah.
I've been making, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I've got my own word for it. Meatloaf is the word I was looking for. So
what do you call it?
We're getting there. You know how in internet culture, Pajit is a word for Indian people.
Sure, I've heard that.
So I make this meatloaf with turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not beef, which you can't eat. The Indians don't like the beef consumption, you know?
Yeah.
And I top it because I'm doing the keto diet. I'm ketoing the line still. You know, like ketchup is not really great for keto.
No.
I could probably get away with it because I only eat once a day for the most part.
Yeah.
So I could probably get away with ketchup, but I go to Aldi.
Yep.
And I get this jarred tikka masala sauce.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's got like 6 carbs per serving. And I put that on top of there. So it's tikka masala on top of turkey, not beef. So I call it Pajit loaf. That's the name. That's the name of the recipe. It's pretty good too. That's one of my favorite keto recipes.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Aldi tikka.
Yeah, it's good shit. I've never tried. They've got a couple of other Indian flavored Johns, as they say in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I've never tried it. Maybe I should.
Yeah, you should.
Try like the korma.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like the yellowy one. Yeah, it's good. You'll like it.
All right. Fuck it. I'll try it. I also I can get enough for. I'll take a pound of turkey and I'll make it into 2 like yay sized meatloafs. That's for you, about that big.
Pretty gaping.
And I'll eat one of them. Oh, you just spilled all over yourself. I'll eat one of them one day and one of them the next day. I don't really remember why I'm telling you that.
I don't know.
It's good though. It's fucking.
Kyle the
I
chef.
love it. I do because. Oh, another thing I'll do is I'll take the ground turkey. I can get 3 of those meatloafs out of one jar. But then I'll take like the little bit that's left over and I'll mix some water into it. And like one of the nights I'll just like fry turkey and then I'll pour that in there and like make like a saucy ground turkey and I'll make wraps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
dude,
nice.
The frozen ground turkey at Aldi is really good, dude. It's a fatty turkey.
I don't really shop at Aldi for that kind of stuff. I get all that at Costco.
Oh yeah.
All the meat I get at Costco.
But they do.
It's good. I used to eat it. I used to eat it all the time. It is good. Aldi's fine, man. Aldi's good shit.
Yeah,
it's fine. I shop at Mark's. I shop at Aldi's. You know, but I basically, if I go to the grocery store, I'm getting food for like 2-3 days, maybe. Yeah. So I'll go anywhere. I go to Giant Eagle. I go to Heinen's sometimes to treat myself.
Treat yourself.
Heinen's is. I think that Heinen's is like an Northeast Ohio regional thing.
Yeah.
But you've got, if anybody's listening, you've got some version of Heinen's.
There was one when I was in that summer I lived with my grandpa in St. Louis. There was one called Deerberg's. It was Heinen's, but it was called Deerberg's.
Deerberg Heinen's. Yeah. Heinen Deerberg, hyphenated.
So I recorded.
Where was that at?
In St. Louis. Suburbs. So I recorded that solo podcast I told you last time we got together. And it's weird, man. I told you it took a long time to churn it out because I read 2 books and I wanted to include them both, and I really ended up not really doing it. Like I spent most of the time I spent was reading it and paring down that thing. By the time I got ready to record it, I basically covered just the one book.
Oh, really?
There was a little bit of overlap, but mostly just the one. But then I was like, I'm just going to use the notes from the other one. I'll just do it. Another episode.
I was going to suggest that.
So that's what I'm doing. So
nice.
But the good news is that'll probably come out
sooner,
much sooner than the last one. Yeah, it's
mostly got a good head start on it.
Yeah. But I thought that other one turned out pretty good.
Nice, man.
As soon as I posted it,
why do you think that happened? I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm just curious. Like, why do you think you pared it down to just doing the one book, basically? How did that come about? Because I think you were so pumped about it being both of them.
I think that I told you that I had 40 pages of notes on one book, and I had to pare that down to like 4 or 5. So I think that by the time I got it pared all the way down to where I wanted, like I spent so much time paring it down. If I was adding something from the other book, I'd have to pare more down, or make a longer podcast. So anyway, I just kind of didn't. But I think there's some good shit in the other one. I'm gonna make another episode off of that. But as soon as I posted it, Chris Zuba, you remember Chris Zuba from Virginia?
Yeah.
He like just a couple minutes after I posted, he comments, "Let's go!"
I saw that.
I love that guy.
It's good. it's nice to know that somebody appreciates it, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good that you got another episode in the works, you know?
Yep.
In the pipe, kind of.
It's just going to be called The God Theory because that's the name of the book. But yeah, that'll be next. But then after that, I'm kind of in a interesting position because I can kind of start with whatever subject I want. And I have like a whole list of ideas about episodes I could do. Dude, I had one the other day and I was like, oh, I'm never going to remember it. Oh, I do. This might be interesting. I think I'm going to use like a Chat GPT or Grok or something. And I'm just going to ask them to give me the most controversial statements from the Hadiths and the Quran, and then do the same thing and ask them for the same thing from the Talmud and the Torah, and then do a podcast on that, like just talking about like you see when you crack open the Talmud, you're going to find some crazy, you know, a lot of.
I think you might be surprised how difficult it is to get Grok to cooperate with you.
Oh, yeah. Because if I have to read them to find those things, it would take me.
Well, I could set you some links, man. But yeah, I think it's not going to be hard for you to find that stuff. If that's an episode that you want to do, you will be able to find that stuff. But yeah, getting Grok to cooperate with you, I'm not sure how successful you're going to be because, well, I don't know. It might help you actually. It might help you very much for the episode. It might say, this is a controversial statement, but here's why it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because that's the argument that people give you all the time is that, you know, the Talmud is a series of arguments between rabbis over the years, and you can't take everything in it like it's the law. Yeah. So that's the excuse. But I don't think maybe that is the excuse on some stuff. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I don't think the Talmud is huge. Like nobody's read the entire Talmud. Yeah.
And there's two of them. There's two Talmuds.
So it wouldn't surprise me if some of it is out of context, but it also wouldn't surprise me if some of it was not. Yeah. You know?
Well, I do think that there's a really interesting comparison between the Hadiths and the Talmud because the Hadiths are supposed to be like the sayings, like the things that people said, but also the interpretations, like expanding on the interpretations of things that give clarity to what's not in the Quran. And that's what the Talmud does. The Talmud is all about interpreting stories in the Bible and you know, all that stuff. And I know that there's like some interesting, like anti-Christian shit in the Talmud. And I want to know what that is. Like, I don't know what that is.
For sure.
And I'm also interested in the idea of rabbinic Judaism and Talmudic Judaism and like how Judaism has changed from the ancient Yahwehs to the modern Jews. And I think the Talmud is full of interesting information. I'm sure it's all going to be, like you say, out of context, but it'd be interesting to talk about anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you definitely run the risk of making people mad with that episode.
Yeah.
So, and it's like an argument that you can't win because you're not going to read the entire Talmud, right? You know? Yep. So I mean, if like you get like a viral hit, you know, because it's of the subject matter, which is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so there are going to be people in the comments and they're going to be like, you don't understand. And you're going to be like, yeah, I guess I don't, you know?
Yep.
But I also don't really trust you. So, you know.
So let's just preempt this whole conversation by saying, yeah, I guess I don't. But if that shit exists at all, and it does, I think it'd be interesting to know precisely what it says. That's it. That's what I want to know. And I'm also
good, interesting. I like that.
I'm also curious to see, like, I don't know, man. You had this perception that there's a lot of hate and a lot of I don't know. I don't even like to use that word, so let me just retract that. That's a liberal word.
Hate
it's
speech.
Not about hate. There's a lot of
it's a microaggression.
There's a lot of like violent rhetoric and things in Islam, and I know this because I know it's in fact in the Quran, not in the Hadiths, but in the actual fucking holy book itself.
Yeah,
there's things in there about, you know, during periods of time when Muhammad was at war with Jews and Christians. There's statements in there about killing Jews and Christians and things like that. Yeah. So I'm curious if it's worse in the Hadiths, if it's like, I'm just curious what's in there, man.
Well, there's some bad stuff in the Talmud for sure. I mean, again, maybe that guy didn't win the argument, you know?
Right.
Maybe they came out on the other side of it. But I know for a fact that it says stuff in the Talmud like Jews are allowed to like take advantage of non-Jewish people in various ways. Like one of the things that they're notorious for throughout history is usury, unfair loaning practices, lending practices, and like that kind of stuff. They're not allowed to charge each other interest. And that used to be in Christian societies, you weren't allowed to charge interest on loans.
That's true in Islamic society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And amongst themselves, they don't charge each other interest, but they charge everyone else interest. And you know what? I don't even hate that. I really don't even hate that.
No.
But I wish that we could do it. You know, like I don't even necessarily wish that we could do that, but I just wish that like, why do they have all this? Like, why do they have all this leeway to look out for themselves, but nobody else does? It's a problem for anybody else.
Yep.
I hate that shit. It really fucking irritates me. But I don't know, man.
Now that Kyle's nice and irritated, I'll cue the music.
Time to go.
Well, there you have it. That's one avenue explored, but infinitely more still to go. I hope you enjoyed thinking along with us. I know. It's not easy work. Thinking. It's hard and full of uncertainties, but I'm grateful for the company as we trek through this together. Here's to hoping that the juice is worth the squeeze. See what I did there? Let's find out together in the next episode.